Hi, I'm Chris Mullins. I'm the European Product Manager for Professional Bravia Displays. And I'm here with Adam Dover today to talk about the hybrid workspaces and also the future of asynchronous work. So thank you very much, Adam. If you'd like to introduce yourself and your role.
Hi everyone. So I'm Adam Dover. I'm the Trade and Segment Marketing Manager here at Sony Europe. And one of my focuses, of course, on the corporate segment. So perfectly tuned to speak with you about your Bravia displays, Chris.
Thank you very much, Adam. Thanks for coming along and spending time with us today. So the first thing we'd like to discuss with you is what are the key applications of Bravia in the workplace? How are they used?
I mean, you could have a Bravia or any sort of professional display, predominantly a Bravia, preferably a Bravia, across all areas. So you can have that from when you first walk into the building, right the way through your journey. So reception areas, it could be in communal areas, food, canteen areas, of course, meeting rooms, huddle spaces. There's a kind of a Bravia for every sort of application. And what's super important with workspaces that really, when not only for employees but also for visitors, when you first go into a building, for example, that reception area is the first impression that someone will get if they're a visitor. And for an employee, it's really about that welcoming connection that they have every time they go into the building. So having a really smart professional display in that area, displaying relevant content to them, that helps immediately not only bolster that level of communication, but also it really helps to build that connection with them. So for a visitor, as I said, that first impression when they go in is all about, okay, well this is a really smart building. They've clearly got some really nice looking professional displays. These guys are serious. And also it helps that first impression of the company. And for employees, as I said, it's really about going to the office and staying connected, staying informed, so they can see then who's in the office for the day. They can find their way to meeting rooms if there's wayfinding required. There's a whole host of applications that they can be used for.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, sounds very important to how the look and feel of an office space can be, and give people a really welcoming feeling when they enter the office. And one thing I understand with corporate environments is that they're always, with all the displays, they're all kind of integrated, right? There's like a management system involved. I know at Sony we have our TIOS solution, right? So I'd be interested to hear from you how our TIOS solution works with our Bravia displays.
Yeah, so I mean, when it comes to TIOS is a Sony-owned solution. So TIOS is really kind of our complete AV IP control and monitoring management system. So any network devices you have in the building, including kind of professional displays, you can see the status of those devices. You can monitor those devices in terms of usage. You can control and schedule those devices. So when it comes to kind of scheduling on-off times, if you're saying the office opens at 7 a.m., the devices can be scheduled to come on at 7 a.m. and go off at 7 p.m. when the doors close. So you're not having any additional wasted time or wasted usage when no one's in the building.
And I can imagine nowadays where energy efficiency is so important, where you want to keep that power consumption down, that's a super important.
I mean, that energy efficiency and sustainability is a real hot topic at the moment. So anything that can be done to help support organizations to manage the way that they're using all of their networked AV in buildings is super important. And not only that from an energy and sustainability perspective, but again for all both employees again and visitors within the building, and on the employee side, not only kind of the key workers, but also the AV/IT facilities managers, having all of those professional displays on a network where they can, on a single dashboard, view the status. They can see what hours those displays have got on, what setting they're in, which input they're in. So they've got a complete view. And obviously, being a Sony-owned solution with our Bravia professional displays, you've got full visibility and full on that platform. You can see every kind of element of that. So it gives you that real professional setup.
Yeah, sounds like it really makes it simple for the integrator, right, to really manage the system. And
and that's the point. It's basically all about kind of efficiencies and boosting, giving people more power. Like I said, for facilities managers and AV and IT staff, they can see everything in kind of one view. And it's really about optimizing their time. So, then there's no wasted time walking around meeting rooms, checking if displays are working. If they get a phone call saying, oh, I can't get the screen in meeting room 10 to work. And it's like, well, have you tried putting it on the right input? It's one of those things. But and also for employees, everyone from the last couple of years working at home, everyone is so familiar with their technology at home and in their home office setups and how they've got it working. We need to kind of seamlessly integrate that into workspaces as well. So those meeting rooms and everything you have in that technology needs to be to the level that everyone's been used to, because in their home everyone wants the kind of latest and greatest. So companies need to make sure that they also have that same level of technology in meeting rooms. And obviously, as you well know, with our Bravia displays, you've got the kind of key functionality for wireless mirroring. Obviously, with our TEOS solution, we also have the Connect for TEOS, which is again that wireless mirroring solution, which adds another level of kind of the mirroring, where you can have you can mirror 4 devices at once and have those all on display on the same screen, and you take control of those. But that it's all about making it easier.
Yeah, removing that friction, right? Which
exactly.
always have those kind of almost like a meme, right, where people get into a meeting room and they're on mute, or they can't share their display.
The old mute.
Yeah, exactly. But having these solutions, right, simplifies things. That makes it super easy to share content and get to the points you want to as quickly as possible.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not only obviously in the meeting rooms, but in all areas of the office as well. So like I said, in those communal spaces, if you've got huddle spaces, everything needs to work seamlessly. So when you go into one area, you're familiar with that, and when you can go to another area, it's the same experience. There's no disconnect in between the different spaces, and I think that's what drives a lot of the frustration, is that historically you go into a meeting room and there's 10 different cables on the table, and it's like, well, which one do you put in your laptop, and which screen does it go to? Is it the projector? Is it the display? And it's just that wasted time in meetings, and that kind of frustration has really led to this kind of change and development over the years.
And as you mentioned, people are working from home a lot, people are coming to the office, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4 times a week. And I understand recently we took out some research, right, around asynchronous working and how Bravias can be used to benefit that type of working.
Yeah. So we did a piece of research which was looking at asynchronous working. So we took a sample of, I think, 3,000 kind of white-collar workers from across Europe in our kind of the key territories. And what we really wanted to find is, to assess and find out, is how are people now kind of re-engaging with going back to work. Obviously, most people are familiar with the term hybrid working, but what asynchronous working is, it takes it to that next level. So hybrid working is all about the level or the split of people, how they're working from home, which days, and how they're working from the office. Asynchronous takes it to that next level, where it's not only looking at the split of working from home and working from the office, but also the working times of when employees feel that they're most effective or most
productive.
Yeah, right? Productive. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. And that also is maybe around kind of key times for them. So people might now kind of starting earlier, having a break where they might be doing a school run, for example, and then coming back and reworking, and at the same time then finishing a bit earlier, having kind of family time and doing some kind of rest time, and then going back to working later. So there's a huge amount of change in the working hours that people are choosing to do based on kind of the new lifestyles that we've had in this new working age post-COVID. I hate to say the word, but yeah, it's that
exactly
post thing. And so what we found is really that the employees are really starting to work more asynchronously these days. But what we find as well is that they do not feel that their companies are well enough equipped in terms of kind of the AV that they have to support that way of working, because with that kind of new flexibility in how they're working coming into the office, the offices need to be set up for that. So when it comes to meeting rooms, they need easy access to booking meeting rooms or meeting spaces or desk bookings even, because a lot of places now are hot desking.
Yep.
And you can even take that to the next level, where people are having to book car parking spaces because maybe office have relocated to smaller premises because of this natural change. So ahead of coming in, you need to do all of these things, and that's where again the TEOS solution that we've got helps complement that offering that we've got with our Bravia displays, where people can book spaces, and that's all obviously integrated with the displays. You've got your app, which then you can cast direct to the display in your huddle space or your meeting room. So again, it's that seamless experience with technology rather than the frustration with technology. It's like making it work for them.
Yeah, and I guess it's a win-win scenario, right? The employee gets to be working their most productive time of day, they feel happier, but also the company gets more productive employees, right?
Everything
So
is
it's a
about
win-win.
improving efficiencies,
Yeah,
making
exactly.
everything more efficient, not only for companies, but also for employees, because, the more efficient they are, the more productive they are, in most times, more productive or higher performing the company is,
And I imagine it's vice versa, right? If you don't cater for that ability, then you're going to be a less attractive company to
Yeah,
employees,
exactly,
potentially, right?
exactly.
So
And
it's
also,
kind of-
that's a good point,
raises
because
retention for people as well.
yeah, that's a big thing at the moment, because the market for employment is is difficult to find. It's definitely a job seekers market or an employers market. So it's really for companies to really attract top talent and new staff. You need to be well equipped. And the spaces that they have in the office is more important than ever, because people are not only choosing an office based on kind of which company I work for, but actually if I can go to this office, how serious are they, and how kind of innovative are they, and a lot of that comes from technology, and the technology that is being used in the office, and how that's been done. And like I said, it's a big part these days.
Yeah. So that's super interesting, Adam. Is there anywhere where people can find out a bit more information about this? Can they go online, I guess?
Yeah, so on the Pro.Sony website, we've got all of our latest information about our asynchronous working. We've got a few podcasts we've done with Piers Linney, specifically about this subject, and again, there's a white paper that we also published with some interesting stats on that we've got for that.
Okay. Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Adam. That was very insightful, and for talking us through all those different
Thanks for having me.
hybrid solutions. So, as you heard from Adam, if you want to find out more, go to Pro.Sony or just search for asynchronous working Sony white paper, and I'm sure you'll find it on your local search provider. But thank you very much for your time, and we'll see you on the next video in this series. So thank you very much.